What energizes me the most about the Public Policy Initiative is what it can do for students at Wharton and throughout the university. They're interested in a particular issue, say it's healthcare policy, trade policy, energy policy, or something else. Additionally, even for students who aren't interested in working in policy, if they just want to go into other sectors of the economy, which is great, having resources so that they have a deeper appreciation of the policy landscape, regulation, taxes, spending, and so forth, is going to be hugely beneficial to them.
We're getting this great business education, and government is a very real part of what happens to business.
It's absolutely paramount for people to recognize and to understand what's happening in our government.
And it's going to be really important, no matter what you're doing, to understand what's going on in the policy realm or the macroeconomic environment.
The Penn Wharton Public Policy Initiative is the home for the intersection of public policy and business.
It's really made me more aware of how these indicators and policy changes impact all kinds of businesses.
It's a great opportunity for students to get engaged in the policy process.
I was working at the Philadelphia regional office of the Securities and Exchange Commission. I sort of realized, wow, I'm 20 years old. All of these people here have had several years in the private sector. They're extremely influential, extremely important public servants, and I really have the opportunity to work amongst them and to help make a difference in protecting our financial markets.
The first Senate hearing I went to was on tax policy. It sort of made me realize there's a whole nother dimension to this and level of obstacles that comes in with a policy, right? You might have a really good policy, but the politics of it are real, and you have to find a way around that.
We're seeing a time when business is leaning on government for things like healthcare. Business wanted healthcare reform. Healthcare costs are spiraling. That hits directly to their bottom line. Businesses are looking at sustainability not just from a cultural perspective or an environmental perspective, but from a bottom line perspective, and they're doing that worldwide.
The understanding of, how does securities regulation work? Where is the State Department trying to, direct the United States foreign policy? Gosh, if you could predict that, you'd be a fantastic investor on a global scale.
Many policymakers, sometimes they didn't even understand legislation, and they didn't even understand the ramifications of the votes that they were going to make. And so we're going to help them think through a number of policies that are considerably complex. We provide a service, and we help people to make the best decisions possible.
When we see the resources, when you see the commitment, when you see the opportunities that a major initiative like this creates, you're going to say, wow, that's exciting. I should definitely check that out.
Within a year, there's already been such a huge involvement.
I feel that in my cohort, there's going to be a lot of people that end up doing policy work and end up being movers and shakers in DC as a result of having had these experiences. So.
And as these lines between nonprofit and business and government continue to blur, and as entrepreneurs look to solve social problems with a profit-driven motive as well, all of that's going to come to a head, and the initiative is going to play an important role in making sure Wharton students, as they go out into the world, understand that government has a role to play, has an important role to play, and that they can be effective in moving that forward.
There's a lot of talent, not only with students, but also with faculty and staff, that could be making a real difference in policy, and I'm happy to see that that's been happening. It's sort of, I sometimes wish it would have been happening when I was a freshman, so I could have had 4 years to really utilize it,